All right, hello, and welcome or welcome back to another channel video. My name is Brandon Tobias. It's an honor to have you here. And if you're new to this channel is all about helping you to reach your greatest and highest potential in the areas of health, wealth, and most importantly, true love. And tonight's video is going to be a channeled video about your current love and life situation for the highest possible good and channeled from my angels and guides and from God and Yahweh and Source themselves. Now, tonight's video is going to give you clarity. If it's one thing that I know I'm here to provide to you, if you just popped onto this video, it's going to give you clarity about what is actually going on and the messages that your guides and angels want you to know in whatever situation that you're in. So if you just happen to come across this video or it happened to come across your page, hello, this is meant for you. Okay, the messages that are going to be channeled are going to be meant specifically for you and no one else. And if they're not, if they don't resonate at all, I do invite you to click off before things get going, because things do get pretty heavy. They get pretty intense in these readings. And if you are curious as to how or why, you could just take a look at the comments below. Okay, and they're not. It's not necessarily my plan to do that, but it is where my guides and angels typically take me, and allow me to take my viewers, which is down into the depths of everything that needs to come out that isn't necessarily the most fun sometimes to look at or comfortable to look at, right? Some may call it shadow work. I call it visiting hell and then coming back up for fresh air. Okay. For the highest possible good and through unconditional love and light, guides and angels and God, Yahweh, and source of all that is, was, and never will be. What is it the viewers tonight need to know for their highest and greatest good in their current love and life situation, channeled through unconditional love and light, and for the highest possible good? Amen. Yes. Okay. Right now, in this moment in time, if you're watching this, you may have a feeling of deep and dark sadness or melancholy coming across you, specifically coming across your heart chakra. It feels like your heart chakra may feel a little blocked or a little bogged down or a little clogged up, or almost as if, I know this is kind of a grotesque metaphor, but hi, welcome to the channel. When a toilet gets clogged and there's too much toilet paper in there and you have to kind of go plunge it out, and then after you plunge it out, it all releases. It's kind of what I feel going on in the audience right now. Forgive me again. In your heart chakra, okay, and a little bit down in your solar plexus and heart chakra. So this area right here in your body. And part of the reason for this is you aren't sure. Here's a specific channel message for those of you watching tonight. You're not sure if the power of your heart and the power of your love is enough. Okay, you might be looking at yourself and examining yourself and saying, okay, well, I'm good at this thing and I'm really good at that thing and I love doing that, I love doing this, but when it comes to just being able to offer myself, just being able to offer my heart, generally speaking, and also to someone else, I'm not sure if that's enough. You might be asking yourself, well, what is even, number one, what is the point of that? What is the benefit of that? Is that even something that is a benefit? How powerful is that? I have no idea if me, you might be saying, giving my heart to someone else is even worth any value at all, or if it's just something that happens that's relatively meaningless or even worthless. Essentially, you might be questioning the value of your own both ability to and the purpose of, the very point of giving of your heart, giving your love, giving yourself to someone. And the thing is that you might value other things over that. Okay, that's the thing that I'm getting right now for you watching, is you might be saying to yourself subconsciously, or even consciously for some of you, consciously you might be saying this, or subconsciously for some of you might be saying, well, I value my ability to work hard for someone else, generally speaking, or for the world, more so than my heart and the love that I can give back to people, to the world, to someone else in a relationship. I value my talent. I value my job. I value the money that I have or that I can give. I value this. I value that more so than the actual just straight up love that you have within your heart. And the reason why is not because you were born like this. The reason why is because you were told, and we were told from a very young age, that us giving and sharing from our hearts and the love that we all have is meaningless. Like that compared to a good paying job or lots of money in the bank or being responsible or working hard or whatever the case is for you in particular, because it'll be slightly different for all of us watching. All of that stuff is way more important. Having a higher status in society, being more secure or having more money, being, gaining a higher level of success, generally speaking, in society, in the world, is what you should really value, is what you should really go for, rather than just existing and being able to give love back to the world, to people, and to others, particularly also in a relationship. Okay. Now, I want to be clear. If this is something that you were told or that you were led to believe, either from your parents, your upbringing, or from society, and this is what you believe about yourself when it comes to the world, too. Like you believe that any of those things or all of them are more important than you just being able to give love from yourself to others freely, then that same belief also automatically gets subconsciously transferred into a relationship. Okay? And the main message right now at this moment in time for those of you watching is that's where it all went wrong for you. Okay? That's where it all went wrong. Because you were trying so hard, and you have tried so hard in your either current love and life relationship or former love and life relationship to try and give in so many other ways that you thought were of value or thought you should be able to give from, rather than just saying, my love from myself and from my heart is enough. And by the way, that my love and my heart and myself is to be cherished. It is enough because it's powerful. It's very powerful. Now, I'm going to get a little sciencey here because I'm a science guy, actually. I'm not just this esoteric woo-woo guy all the time. My background's in science. Love, the ability for someone to powerfully and consistently love someone else, generally speaking, and commit also their love to someone else, is a superpower. It's like a superpower. It's like giving a superpower to the person that you're loving. It's like a whole other dimension of energy that you give to someone else when you powerfully love someone from your heart, from your soul. It's a gift. It's a blessing beyond blessings. And unfortunately, many people, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, right? But many, many people in society and in relationships sometimes take that for granted. And I feel that you've been taken for granted. And because you've been taken for granted, you might have taken yourself for granted. And let me know in the comments down below if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Okay, either one's okay. Or you don't have to comment at all, but I love to let you know that you're not alone if you want to participate with the rest of the beautiful community down here tonight. But many of us in society have been unappreciated simply for being able to share from ourselves, our heart, our love to someone else. And maybe other people have, or ourselves have not realized that that love is like giving whoever you're loving the greatest boost, the greatest advantage, the greatest energy that one person could possibly give to another. Okay? It's why you see the most powerful people in the world most often, and the most powerfully aligned people in the world most often have someone just as powerful loving them from the background, committing their self, committing their love, committing their support to them from the background, that you may not always see that person. You may not always truly appreciate that person, but that person's actually making the other person on the main stage very powerful. Okay. We're not going to get into politics here, but one very bright example that I saw is Mr. Donald Trump's wife, Melania. Oh my God, what a powerful woman. What a powerful woman. And, you know, as someone who does this for a living, right, I can tell the energy that she has committed to Mr. Trump is a lot of what helps him to be successful. It's a lot of what maintains his ability to be the leader that he is. And again, whether or not you like him or hate him, we're not here to discuss that, right? But one thing is clear, that the man is very powerful. The man is very successful and very accomplished. And a big part of that reason, maybe half, if not more of that reason, I would say, and I feel intuitively, is because of his wife, Melania. Okay. But many people don't see that. Many people don't appreciate that. Many people say, "Oh yeah, she's a beautiful woman and she's smart and she's intelligent and she has a book, right? That's great. She has a book." But they don't recognize the fact that it's her love, it's her heart, it's her energy being given to Mr. Trump that I would bet is the thing that, if that weren't happening, if that weren't occurring right now, and let's say they weren't together, they were separated, or, you know, she was with someone else or something like that, God forbid, I don't believe that man would be half as powerful without her. Okay. So it's a lesson we can all learn. And I believe slowly but surely society is catching up. But I want you to ask yourself right now, in this moment in time, where have you, or did you know this? Did you know this? Did you realize how powerful your love is? Did you realize how powerful your committed love is, and the superpower that that can give someone else? Maybe you have, but it scared you because someone has taken advantage of it, or people didn't realize that you were giving them that boost. Okay. But it's time for all of us to take that back. If you're watching this right now, I want you to claim that within yourself. If this feels true for you, if this feels right, I want you to claim that within yourself and say, my love, my heart is a superpower for whoever is lucky enough to receive it from me. Whoever is lucky enough for me to commit my heart to is one lucky person. And they're going to get a huge boost, and they're going to be very powerful. And that is the gift that I have to share. And I don't even have to, I can, but I don't have to share anything else but that. That is enough. Okay. That is a superpower beyond belief. And you might be wondering to yourself, and it's funny, I'm smiling because I think this is one of the most important lessons that a lot of feminine energy, right? A lot of either females or feminines, right? People who are really evolving into their feminine energy and understanding what that feminine energy is and what that does for the world and how powerful and how meaningful that is, right? This is for those of you wondering, you know, how it is you're really meant to, if you're watching this and you've been drawn, you're like, oh, this is me, right? If you've been wondering, how am I meant to give to a relationship? Ace of Pentacles, two of Cups, Knight of Swords, Six of Cups. It's that. It's that. And yes, there can be other things beyond that. If you want to go and be more successful and perform and do all these other things, you can do that. But the main core, the main stable way, the main contribution that you can give to a relationship and to someone else in a very, very powerful way beyond anything else is not about money. It's not about success. It's not even about financial stability. It's about your committed love. It's about your loyalty, your commitment, your love, and all of the beauty and the fortune and the manifestation that that will bring into a relationship. And you have to know this, and this is a channel message for those of you watching. Your love, you watching brings the wealth. your love, okay? This Queen of Cups right here, that, beyond all things, even though it's not taught to any of us, is what brings the wealth into the relationship. You don't have to be the wealthy one. You don't have to be the quote unquote successful one. You can just be the one that loves. And you have to know, and your partner has to understand, hopefully they do, hopefully they happen across this reading, your love is the thing. And their love is the thing that brings the wealth. That's how God provides. Okay? Trust me, I know. I'm a love and life tarot reader, right? At one point, I was broke beyond broke. And still, until I started healing and going through my own love stuff and opening up the love. And the love brought money. Okay? So you don't have to be, again, let it be heard. You don't have to be the one if you want to, if this feels right for you. You don't have to be the one. You don't have to stress yourself into saying, I have to be able to provide something stable financially or a job or a business or something like that into a relationship before I go. You can just give your heart and give yourself and give your loyalty and give your love. And naturally, what's going to happen if you're willing to do that, or if you want to do that, right? If you feel like this is resonant with you, okay? What's going to happen is God is going to allow however the best way money to come into the relationship, however that best way is going to be, that's what He's going to do. That's what God and the universe and Source is going to do. Yahweh. Okay, He's going to find, and she's going to find, because Source is feminine, God is masculine. That's for another lesson. They're going to find the best possible way to give the wealth in accordance with the love that's present in that relationship. And the love is most powerfully generated on behalf of the one who is of the feminine, right? The one taking on the feminine role in the relationship. If that's you, fantastic. If you feel you're the one, rather than providing that powerfully, that you're the one that is meant to actually receive and benefit through financially from that love, that's great too, whatever role. But you got to know I feel a lot of you watching tonight needed to know that specifically, that instead of having to worry or pressure yourself into having to, bring more success or stability or job or money into a relationship, you don't need all of that. And if that's been scarce for you, if that's been a struggle for you, if that's been confusing or difficult or stagnant for you, I believe this is your lesson. Okay? Because where there is love, there is money and stability. Where there is love that is freely and openly given and exchanged, there is money, there is abundance, and there is manifestation. And there's also fame and wealth as it grows. Okay? But the love always comes first. And we always say on this channel, what do we always say? We say love is the foundation of everything else. Most importantly, true love. And from there, everything else can expand. The wealth, the health, and the abundance. Okay? But many of us were taught, and you may be one of them, many of us were taught in this lifetime, Three of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the Three of Swords, that no, that's not about love. You can't just go into a relationship, you hopeless, romantic, idealistic person, and just love someone. That's crazy. No, you have to have your own money. You have to have your own job. You have to own your own finances and responsibility, because otherwise you're not going to be contributing to that relationship. Or, even worse, right? That person's going to take advantage of you and they're going to leave you, and then you're going to be homeless on the street. You've been told by your friends and family and society that you need to do that, right? Provide in different ways than maybe you were made, and give less of yourself. How many of you in the chat, right? And I've been told this too. So it's not just like I'm pointing at you guys. Like, I've been told this as well. Always these channel readings are also for me, in part at least. But Page of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Three of Swords, we've been told, no, you can't. You cannot risk just giving all of yourself. You can't just go into a relationship, even if you feel it, and love someone fully from day one and just give all of yourself. That's dangerous. It's stupid. And you particularly can't do that if you don't have your own money and job and success, because you're definitely going to get hurt and taken advantage of. Now, I'm not saying that that never happens. I'm not saying that people don't get taken advantage of. And that's the very reason why that advice, that hurt advice exists, is because people have been hurt by that. However, at the same time, we cannot let those wounds, those fears, and those scars hold us back from the natural way in which we are meant to contribute into a relationship. If we are meant to just be, exist, and pour love into that relationship, because that's how that relationship is meant to expand and bring wealth and manifestation, and even if maybe the money comes through the other partner or it comes through both, then that's what it's meant to be. You can't downplay or ignore your role if that's for you or for your partner, if that's the natural way it's meant to be. Okay. And this is a very important, I feel, global societal lesson, collective lesson that's happening right now, is we're understanding that not everyone may be built to go out and be the successful one or make all of the money or go out and hustle, right? That may not be our role. Maybe it is, but maybe it's not. Maybe our role is just to literally give all of ourselves into a relationship, and that is enough. Okay. And you're gonna know by watching this. Okay. That's what I pray for God as well, to give clarity to everyone watching. Like, you're gonna know, is that for you? And maybe you say, no, Brandon, I know I'm meant to be, like, because before maybe I was involved in love or I met my person or whatever the case is, I knew from a young age I was meant to be a superstar and wealthy and successful. And like that's my path, right? And fair enough. But this is for those of you watching, those of us watching, I should say, who may doubt the power that our heart, our love, our self commitment to another can bring into a relationship. It's that collectively we've forgotten the power of our hearts. Because our hearts have been wounded so many times. Our hearts have been betrayed so many times. Our hearts have been taken advantage of so many times when we try to give to another. And maybe some of you watching, I know this is the case. And I know it's the case, not from this lifetime, but from past lifetimes. I can feel my past life self, really upset right now. It was a she, in case it wasn't obvious. By many womanly past lives. Okay. So I imagine finding out that, right? You're like this, former collegiate macho straight male football player, and then you go to these past lives and you're like, oh, I was like mostly feminine, and you're coming to this lifetime and you're like learning how to be a man, right? That's kind of my experience. Really, really interesting, really fascinating. I highly urge those of you who haven't had it, go get a past life regression. If I ever open up my coaching sessions again, that's some of what we do. Anyways, not to go on too many tangents here, but I know that some of you watching have had the experience where you have done that. You've given all of your heart, you've given all of yourself into a relationship or for another person. You've committed yourself fully, your heart and soul to that person or to that relationship, maybe even multiple times, and you've been betrayed. You've been taken advantage of, and even possibly that person didn't recognize or even know or wasn't even half aware that you were providing a lot of success or wealth or abundance for that person, right? Maybe that person was so unaware that he or she just took it all and ran, right? It was like, thanks, you manifested all this success. Now I'm gone. Thanks to myself, I guess. Like, and then they just completely crash and burn, right? Once they're not in a relationship with you. Okay, that's the type of thing we're talking about. Unfortunately, the scars of that still remain. And how beautiful is this? right? How beautiful is the tarot? And I promise I shuffled very well here. I had a comment in the last reading say, I wish you would shuffle in the camera so I know you're shuffling. I know it's crazy sometimes. Hierophant with the Magician. This is exactly what we're talking about. Okay. There have been times where you have given all of yourself, your heart, into a committed relation to someone else. They've become very powerful and perhaps walked away or betrayed you, or at least didn't recognize that you were the one providing that power for them, that wealth, that fame, that success. And so that may have left a really sour taste in your mouth when it comes to loving someone or committing to someone or allowing them to be successful because of your love and commitment, and giving them that superpower that you have. Okay. And in my opinion, right, what I've experienced and what I've seen is that that is a power that is specific to the feminine energy. Now, of course, we all have some of that energy, right? We all have the ability to support someone else, but those who are meant to be really dropped in and embodied in their feminine energy, that is their greatest superpower. That is their greatest superpower, is that they have the ability to actually make someone else, right? Um, Blow up and be famous and wealthy and successful and all the things. And that is, I mean, that's like God is just screaming in my heart, like that is how, that's the gift I gave to the feminine energy. That's the superpower. Unfortunately, again, it's just been forgotten about, disregarded, looked down upon, right? And no one even recognizes it. And to me, it's very frustrating because it's like even to the point where many people who are really lovely, beautiful, amazing, strong feminine energies, they don't even recognize it about themselves. And they think they need to go out and be the strong and successful and dominant ones, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but they totally disregard that superpower. Okay? The absolute superpower that is the feminine energy. The devil card here coming out with the Hermit, 10 of Wands, 3 of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Okay, so there's been the whole point of this reading, right? And again, this is both aimed at those of you watching, but also this is a microcosm of what the collective is going through, right? What the globe is going through is we've been very conditioned to there's kind of been this in and out culture. Okay, that's the best way I can put it. There's very this culture that promotes non-loyalty, non-commitment, non-dedication, and non-generosity, particularly of one's love and one's own heart and one's own self and one's own soul. And again, and I know those of you watching can recognize this, there's good reason for that. There's always a reason for things that happen, right? There's always things that lead up to the effects that we see in society. That's because there's been a lot of hurt. There's been a lot of betrayal of those who have committed to themselves. But we've swung the pendulum over to a society that promotes and values those of us who are in relationships or multiple relationships with maybe even multiple people in and out and refusing to dedicate all of ourselves so that even when we are in a relationship with someone else, many times we are still alone. This is the devil with the Hermit card, 10 of Wands, 3 of Cups. We're still alone. We still feel alone. We may be having sex. We may be hugging and kissing. We may be cuddling. We may be watching Netflix. We may be going on a date, but we still are alone. Our souls are not truly connected. Our hearts are not truly connected. The loyalty and the dedication and the perseverance and the support, none of that is there in today's modern world and society. This is the new commonplace way of dating. And it's wrong. It's not wrong because there's anything morally wrong with it, right? I'm not about judging people or morality. It's wrong because it doesn't give the best results to those wanting the most out of life and the experience that life has to offer. Being in shallow, empty, casual relationships or hookups or dating multiple partners, etc., though all those types of things, they will never yield the best results that you can possibly get out of the experience of love and relationships. They will yield results. They are an experience, okay? And there is no judgment if that's something you want or that you decide to partake in, or anyone for that matter. It's just telling you that you will never ever yield the most and the best and the highest possible results you can get from the experience called love, true love, and giving one's heart and soul committed to one person and receiving that back. That's what has gone missing in today's society. And those of you watching, this is a calling for you, because chances are you are uniquely aware or aligned with this message in a way that you want to go out and be the counter example. You want to go out and promote on social media, hey, I'm in and I love a long-term relationship where I'm fully dedicated and committed and loving and supportive of my partner, all in, and they're all in for me, and we're just all in all the time for each other. And we share everything and we are aligned. And we allow each other to flourish and to be in our proper roles, and to want the best out of this connection. And to only separate if that's what God wills. Yeah. To be in it for the long term. That's the energy we need to bring back to the world, to the relationship, to modern dating, to sex. Okay. Because sex is a positive amplification. That's all it is. Okay. It amplifies whatever energy is already there that is either going to extinguish itself, implode within itself, or explode into 10x, 100x the wealth and love that is potentially there between two people. Sex is just a multiplier. It's a shared connection between you and another person that multiplies and creates an awareness around the truth and the actual energy that's there or exists between two people. Okay. And so when you have sex with someone who is not someone that there's love with, when there's no love present and you have sex with someone, I don't know why God is going here, but I was going to skip over this part. God is saying, no, we need to talk about this. But when you have sex with someone, when there's no love there, it just extinguishes. It depletes and it extinguishes the light. Okay. And you do this over and over and over and over again. And pretty soon your light becomes dimmed. You dim the light of others and you dim your own light, because you're extinguishing yours over and over and over again, because there's no amplification. There's no love. Love is amplification. Okay. And so we wonder why in society today there are so many people wandering who they're not fully there, right? They're not fully present. They're not fully conscious. Maybe they're dimmed souls walking around. And we wonder, well, how did that happen? Why did that happen? There's many different reasons, but a big one God is telling me is that sex without love is promoted, and it's a trick. It's a facade. So we need to be the collective here, you and I watching. Let's make a commitment to bring back the promotion of sex with love, sex in and with a committed partnership and person where there is the intention or the dedication to give all of ourselves and also to receive all of another. Because that is the best possible way. If you've been wondering this, but that is the best possible way to amplify right now your life success, your life story, your abundance, your wealth, your path in life, and the gifts that God will bring to you and bless you with, and the universe. Okay? The biggest reason that we hold back from this is because of the fear that if we commit ourselves to another, and if we give someone else all of this energy, and if we love them with all of our hearts, that person at some point in time is just going to take all of that and walk away from us. And that does happen, and that may happen. But I will tell you this. If you do that, if you give all of yourself to another person, and you dedicate yourself to someone else, and you give all of your heart, all of your soul, all the things we talked about, you commit yourself and it's loyal. There's loyal and there's love being shared. And that person still walks away. That person gives up. And this is being channeled straight from God. This isn't just my opinion. This is just what God's telling me. Okay. That person gives up all of the blessings, all of the grandeur, all of the abundance, all of the wealth that you had dedicated to them through your love. And guess who it gets returned to? It gets returned back to you. Okay? I want you to just feel into this. I want you to think about this. And think about it in your own situations, right? This is God channeling to me, but I have no idea if it's actually true. So you're going to have to tell me in the comments. This is what he's telling me. He's telling me if that happens, when that happens, what happens is all of that energy that you gave to that person gets transferred back to you. And that person loses it all, which is often why you will see in these situations, even though it sucks to go through it, you'll see that other person eventually fall flat on their face because they were being propped up by you or the giver in the relationship. Okay. So that's what you need to know is that there's no risk here because what you give, generally speaking, will always find a way to come back to you. Always. That's God's promise to you. Even if that person leaves you, even if that person takes all of your love and takes all the success and the abundance and the manifestations that you gave to them, and they become a king or queen because of your dedication to them, and they leave you with that, and they don't credit you with that, guess what? God is saying that gets sent right back to you. Give it a little time, okay? Give it a little space. But eventually, that is what always happens. Okay? So the point with this is you don't need to fear that anymore. You don't need to hold it back anymore. For God's sakes, don't hold it back. Give it all. Give it all away. And see what comes back to you. Release your fear of betrayal. Release your fear of abandonment. Release your fear of being taken advantage of. There is no such thing. It may appear that there's such a thing, but in actuality, it all comes back to you. Okay? So at the very least, whether it goes to someone else and you can share it with them in a relationship and they can share it with you, at the very least, one way or another, you are going to benefit from that dedication, that love that you have that you can share to the world and to someone else. And by the way, everything I'm saying is not just for a relationship, but it doubles for the world as well. So what you give to the world will always, always find a way back to you. Okay? For the highest possible good and through unconditional love and light. Anything else that we need to talk about tonight Let's clarify the Three of Swords specifically. And speaking of purpose, because I know I get like half and half, right? Half of my audience watching they're watching this, but it's actually from the perspective of what they're here to give to the world. Okay, like they know they can give that, and they're okay with giving that in a relationship, but they're a little scared of doing that for the world. Half of you watching it's the reverse, right? It's like I'm a little scared to give that to the relationship, but I'm okay giving it to the world. Um, but I feel like Queen of Wands here with the Eight of Swords, Nine of Wands. For those of you who are watching, where this applies to what you can give to the world, okay, your success or what you're. This is here to free you. Okay, if you know from God Himself right now and the consciousness of the universe that whatever you give, whatever you can dedicate, however you can dedicate yourself and your heart and soul to the world and give freely, will always find a way back to you. It'll free you. Because you won't have to worry about the how and the why and the how is it going to make money and etc. No. So long as you just know and say, whatever I can give, however I can give it to the world freely, from my heart, from my soul, in a loving way, in a genuine way, in a committed way, that will find a way back to me. That'll free you. That's the roadblock. If you made it this far, that's the roadblock you've been having. Let it go. Find a way to give. Find a way to give it all. Find a way to share it all freely, and it will find a way back to you no matter what. Okay. Find a platform. Find a methodology. Let us clarify the Seven of Pentacles for the highest possible good and through unconditional love and light at this moment in time. Tower card, King of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Pentacles is talking about the ways in which some of us have and often do discount the power of our love and what that brings to another. And that's what this King of Swords is here, right? This King of Swords is here to say, well, what good is your love or your dedication or your support in that way? I need more than that. You have to be this, you have to do that, you have to do it in this particular way. Many of you have been hurt. Maybe this is your father. Yeah. For many of you, this is your father. Like your father told you or didn't realize or tried to make you into more of a different way of giving, right? To make you into a different type of giver than what you naturally were. I feel like this is for a lot of feminines watching. King of Swords with the Tower. And this is the main reason, if you're watching this, why you felt inclined to try to give in other ways or hold back your true heart, your true self, because you were made to feel silly for your true self and your true heart. Maybe you were born in a way where you're like, I'm just here and I just love, and that's okay. And maybe someone in your life, or for many of you, a father was like, that's not enough. I need it this way. I need it that way. And more than that, maybe King of Swords Tower, I know it's getting really deep. Maybe your love was rejected or you were rejected for giving that love to your father. Tower card with the King of Swords. And so you chose to hide it away. You chose to take your love and hide it away. And you still loved your father very much, but you couldn't let him know. Okay. No more. If you love someone, let them know it. Don't hold back. Whether they accept it or not, whether they appreciate it or not, whether they fully recognize the gifts that that brings to them or not, the most important thing that you can do is give it all away. And if you do that, God is saying, and I'm saying to you, you will be fully satisfied and fulfilled, and you will find true happiness in your heart and your soul in this lifetime. But you got to be willing to give it all away. Final three of this particular reading: for the highest possible good and through unconditional love and light. Yahweh. Well, there you go. That's exactly it. Six of Pentacles with the Two of Wands with the King of Pentacles. Okay. Let this reading give you clarity. This King of Pentacles, okay, whoever this is for you, if you're this person, great. Or if this is the person that you're with or will be with at some point, great. But let me tell you this King of Pentacles does not become a King of Pentacles. Okay, keep in mind, Pentacles is money. Money and Pentacles is a real, physical, real worldly thing that is created by humans. Okay, it's just a creation of humans. It's a physical thing created by humans. Okay, that is not actually real. You see, it's just a presentation of something that's real underneath that, which, as we've talked about this whole reading, is love. Okay, so the real provider of the King of Pentacles, okay, is actually the person that loves, that's loving and supporting that King of Pentacles. That's where this person's wealth comes from. That's how you become wealthy. You have someone very powerful behind you, as we talked about, loving you. Or in some cases, I'll admit, right, there are people who become wealthy by themselves or they don't have a dedicated partner. But in that case, it's God's love. Okay, but in this particular reading, at this moment in time, the whole point of this reading is you want to be able to provide to someone. You want to be able to know how to provide to someone else or to someone that's meant to be wealthy or highly successful. You do it with your love. And if you are that person, if you are meant to be this person right here, then you got to know that's how you do it. You receive that from your partner and from the world. And I'll give you a quick example before we go, is many of you, the only reason many of you purchase my extended readings, which, by the way, we do have an extended reading tonight if you want to go deeper with me. And we're going to be on even deeper. We're going to be talking about your person and what's going on with them, their healing, their lessons, and what they want to tell you at this moment in time. It's an update on your person for this moment whenever you happen to be watching that. But the main reason I know and feel that, and because you share with me, I can feel it, that many of you purchase my extended readings is because I bring love. I'm talking about love and I bring love into these readings, and you can feel that. Okay. So love translates to money. And if you can bring love into whatever it is you do as a profession, you will be wealthy. And that goes for those of you who are also receiving the love from someone else, becoming wealthy because of it. Okay? But always remember, love is what's real. Money is not. Love is what will bring the money in this lifetime, if that's what you're searching for. If that's part of what you're searching for. Okay. The extended, as we mentioned, will be available in the description box below if you want to go check it out. If not, that's totally okay. This was a totally these readings are just they're what comes out. They're what God wants all of us to know at this moment in time. And the extended is going to be going into and speaking for those who are in a love situation, okay, who are either with their person or connected energetically with a person like a twin soul or a soulmate, or maybe you're just getting into a situation, you're like unsure of how to navigate it. So if you resonated with this reading, the extended reading is going to be about your other half, okay, the person that you're meant to be with, and it's going to be a specific update on what they and God wants to tell you about where they're at, how they're currently feeling, and any messages you need to know on or for their behalf, okay? So if you want to dive deeper with me into and after this reading, check out the extended in the description box below or in the featured product section. If you're new to this channel, want to get more readings like this, you enjoyed and appreciated this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, tell your friends who've never heard of tarot, never known it could be used like this. And of course, share your comments. You're welcome to share your comments or your experiences in the comments below. I love you all. Thanks so much for watching. And I'll see you now in the extended reading. Bye for now.